These busters let me go live. Oh, for sure. Ain't nobody up on yet, so I'm gonna post up for a second. Anybody join on, I'm gonna start. But what up with everybody? Oh, there's nobody. So what up with nobody? Mental Ninja, doing my thing. Beautiful day in the neighborhood and shit. Hope everybody's having fun with the who was here first, who's the most original, aboriginal, indigenous nigga to earth. Calling all earthlings, take me to your leader. You know what I'm saying? But me, I mean, I give a fuck really. Shit sound good, but at the end of the day, I don't really worry about it. You know, I'm gonna start doing these little lives and shit. Now I can go live, whatever. And I might just jump on into it in a few minutes. I got shit to do. You know, got this little court thing Tuesday. I gotta go. Lawyer do. She'll handle that. But oh, I got somebody. What up? What's cracking? I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. It ain't me. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. It's two. It's probably the homies. Always the homies. One dropped off. So that's what we gonna do. I'm gonna call this esoteric wisdom. Number one. Whatever, right? So, esoteric. Wisdom. Hope you can see it. Let me move this a little closer. Turn this light off. Turn that light off. Yeah. 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 Right like that. All right. So we got esoteric wisdom. I'm just going to run through this. What is the beginning? What's the beginning? It's the mental ninja. I'm the beginning, nigga. I'm the first and the last, the only, the alpha and the omega. Now, you might be saying that's impossible because if it was you, they'd have put the mental ninja in the Bible. They'd have put the mental ninja in the Quran. They'd have put the mental ninja in the Facebook verification fact checker sheet. But I'm here to tell you, I'm the first. Now I'm the last, and I'm the only mental ninja that will ever fucking be on this whole life. Ever, for all existence, all eternity. Matter of fact, even more than that, I am existence. I am eternity. Represented as me, the mental ninja. So if you have a question who the first and last, and like, well, this dude is nigga named the mental ninja, say he was the first. He also say he's the last, but I don't see his name in no book. I am the book. First. That's the beginning of wisdom. Knowledge of self. Who am I? But first, I'm going to go on the 5%er study. Like, first, you got to have knowledge. What does knowledge look like? This is what it look like. Before you got knowledge, this is what you got. Boom. That's what you got. Before you got knowledge, you got this. You got nothing. Right? So once you get knowledge, what does knowledge look like? It's the first step. It's the first stage. But the thing is, before you have knowledge, you can't have knowledge. So that's really the first step. You have to open blank canvas. Then you get knowledge, and this is what knowledge is going to look like. The 5% say it's one, but I'm going to run it like this. First, you get knowledge. You have no knowledge. You have this. In the beginning, the earth was formless and void, and the spirit of God, spirit of mental ninja, hovered over the face of the deep. And he said, "Let there be light." I'm just an idea at this point. I don't even exist. What's good? What's good? J-Mod, I don't even exist, but the idea of my existence is about to exist because already an idea, because I already exist, because I am that which is about to manifest. What does that look like? It looks like this. It looks like nothingness. Nothing. Everybody got to come through nothingness to be something. Before you were you weren't you. So you were nothingness. This, the primordial ooze, the primordial soup, the etherical, whatever name you want to come up with, this is where you at. Before you were created, this is where you at. And this is you. But when you make you, this is what you get. You get a circle. Kind of makes sense because the you that's not you yet, that's about to be you, is this guy. And where is he going? He's going to go to this. He's going to go land on this planet, on this body, on this idea, this concept generator. This thing generates the concept. This thing is the idea. This is the concept and the construct, but it's not the construct yet because this guy right here got to go meet that. So that's you and that's you. But before you were that, you were all nothingness. You were all things that could possibly be and all things that could possibly not be. And once you hit, boom, once you hit that, you're inside. That's you. Now what's that? It's the fucking monad. Oh shit. Where's the demiurge? That's the demiurge. You are the demiurge. You are the monad. And once you become the monad, you fertilize that egg. This is what happens. Looks like some weird butt cheeks or some weird titties or some weird dude cartoon looking at you. But this is what you have is a splitting of the egg. So you have the representation of one thing that before it was one thing, it was no thing, nothing. And one thing, which is something, and no thing are actually two things. One, none. And when you put them together, you get the third. Sum. What is the sum of nothing? Is one thing. What's the sum of one thing? Two things. Or sum of nothing becomes one thing. Sum of one thing becomes something, two things. So this right here is the same as equals this right here. Now you're seeing this whole thing happening right here at once. This symbol right here, the meiosis, the splitting of the egg, the two, that was the one, that was also the none. You're watching it happen together right here. This process is right here. And then you got the thing. Then these guys go over here. Boom. And it continues on and on and on. So really the same thing that's happening here is happening there, happening there, happening there, is happening here. Over and over and over, the same thing replicates itself. So you are that which replicates. And how can I prove that? What up, Weezang? How can I prove that you or I'll speak with myself. I'll speak for myself, right? Is the only reason that I know I'm the one who replicates because this is how I was. Check this out. I was here. Let me do that better. I was here and I'm going here. Is that big enough? Make that bigger so y'all can see it. That's where I was. This is where I'm going. Two places. You see that? But there's something missing. There's this part that's missing. There's this part right, the original. And that's this. Boom. So what you got here is reflection. What's reflection? The reflection of the original knowledge. What is the original knowledge? This is the original knowledge. But this ain't the original knowledge. This is the original knowledge, but that's not the original knowledge. This blank spot, that's the original knowledge. But then once knowledge has knowledge of itself, boom, 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 it's all this. So if you look at this right here, I'm going backwards. Yesterday, I was here yesterday. I remember that shit. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here in 5 minutes from now. But the thing I'm always going to be yesterday, 5 minutes before. I'm always going to be 5 minutes after, but I will always be right now. Always right now. I exist in the space between these two things. So this right here has no representation though. No representation at all. But if you go back, before the circle was the circle, it was nothing. The nothing always remains. It never stops. Just because you have something doesn't mean nothing has stopped. It's just that it means that nothing has knowledge of nothing, which is itself, which becomes something, which becomes one thing. No thing, or O-N-E and O, same thing. Let's knowledge of nothing have knowledge of self. The ancient Kemetic said, for wisdom created itself within the knowledge of itself. Boom. And that's how you get that. So I am the first, the Alpha, and I'm the Omega. I am the first and last that will ever be. I'm the only me that will ever exist. You are the only you. And you ain't in no book, because the book ain't in you, because you are the book. So if you're looking for some book to tell you who you are, you're missing the vital concept, because the book is already at this spot. But without the knowledge of itself, the knowledge of nothingness, have the knowledge of itself, you can't get something from nothing. You get nothing into something. It's a fucking play on words. You're going to figure that one on your own. But if I have to read a book that tells me who I am and I'm the one fucking reading it, there's an issue. I tell the book what the book is because I'm the one reading the book. I call it the book. The book ain't called itself nothing because the book don't got knowledge of itself. The book is, in that sense, it's inanimate. But let's remove all this, and I'm going to show you some special shit about on the nature of things that are inanimate and the nature of things. And I'm going to be jumping all over the place. I'm the mental ninja, so the hell I do. So if you want, you can rewind and reinterpret it or whatever. Go back to this. I ain't going to make it long so you can have some fun. Now, before I exist, I'm this. Remember, we start here again. I'm this. And now I'm here. I'm this. But I went through a process of this and that, this and that, this and that, which is the same process being repeated. Now, this is what I look like. But this is what I've always looked like. I've always looked like this. And this is how this works. You have 4 elements. Actually, you got the circle. 360 degrees of circumference. Right? Now, within that circle, which way can you go? The circle go anywhere. It's complete. It's everywhere. It's everywhere and it's nowhere. And it represents itself as everything and nothing. Because inside, you have nothing. And outside, you have nothing. But the circle, the 360 degrees of that line, makes everything. That separates nothing from nothing. So let me separate the waters from the waters. Boom. That's what this is. The monad going back. But within here, and within 360 degrees of that circle, you have 4 directions. Right? You got up, down, left, right. Right? Or you got inside. I spelled that shit wrong as a motherfucker. You have inside, outside, forwards, and backwards. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, select, star. Or you got north, south, east, west. Or you have summer, spring, this is all out of order, but it doesn't matter. Fall or winter, fall. So within 360 degrees of rotation, you have up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. You have inside, outside, forward, and back. Inside, outside, or how you want to, inside, outside, forward, and back. You have north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west. You have summer, spring, winter, fall, summer, spring, winter, fall, right? Or summer, spring, fall, however you want to do it. You still get 4, right? So move that. Once you put 360 plus 4, 360 degrees plus 4 directions of movement, you get 365. And what is 365? It's the calendar year. It's one trip around the sun, or 365 trips from the sun around the earth. Whichever one you want to run it, it's still going to work. What up, Crystal? And there's still something that's missing. Oh, no, I'm wrong. My bad. Y'all should have said something. 364. So you have 364. So it's still missing something. The completion, right? You have 360 plus the 4 directions, right? You're missing 1 point. And what point is that? In the middle. 360 plus the 4 plus 1. Now, what does 1 mean? 1 equals the observer. The observer is that which is able to go up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west, summer, spring, winter, fall, inside, outside, back, forward, and backward. The observer can do all these different directions. So 360 plus 4 plus 1 equals 365. And that's the calendar year. So and who's the observer? The person who calls a book. The person that calls me, or I, or you. They're observing it, right? And the observer is also the know thing making something. That's why we have names. We have concepts and ideas. It's the know thing that's giving manifestation to all things as possible. It does not become possible till it has a name. Even though you can see it, that's just a physical representation. But until you give it a name, it doesn't exist. It has not completed manifestation yet. And just like you have a name, whether you call yourself I, whether you call yourself you, whether you call me you, or you call yourself I, it doesn't matter. You have defined it with a name, and that's the word. And so your physical body is a manifestation of the word, but it's not complete until there's actually spoken distinction for it. And that's where they get that. That's where the Bible goes for all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean it's owned by the Christians. The Christians can't copyright fucking divinity. Neither can the Muslims. Neither can nobody can copyright divinity. The only person who can copyright divinity is the motherfucker who's divine. And who's the one that's divine? Me, because I'm the copyrighter myself. I have the copyright to reduplicate who I am, who I've always been, and who I will be tomorrow. So that when motherfuckers is tripping on this religious other stuff because they miss the key point that completes it. Religion is right here, 364, but they missed that 1 point. They put the book in the middle and it's still not complete because the book can't make no decisions. Book can't go up, down, left, right. The 1 point that makes all this possible is this in the middle. And it doesn't even exist because remember, before over here where nothingness exists, you have nothing. And then when nothing becomes nothing, it actually becomes when zero becomes zero, it gets represented by its first name, the first manifestation. With a circle, that means zero. But zero just means nothing, right? But it's here. So it's actually something now, right? It's a sum of things. Then after you get the nothing, then you have the split. It's doing all over again, all over again, all over again. But really, this is how it works. So that dot in the middle is the same as the dot. It's the same as the dot. It's the same as the dot. Goes on and on and on and on. And these could be the different levels of universal experience or planetary or solar, whatever you want to call it. These are all the different possibilities that surround the observer. All the ways the observer moves. And every time the observer makes a move, one of these is created. One of these is created. One of these is created. And it's an infinite ripple. It's a ripple effect. You can see it in water, right? And that's why water is the building block of life. It's the vital resource of life. It's the vital building block of life, as the 5%er said, because remember, in the beginning, the earth was formless and void, and the Spirit of God hovered above the face of the deep, right? This is God. He's hovering above the face of the deep on both angles. But this is where God's really doing. He's swimming up that that tube to get to the egg so he can implant and fertilize that egg. Boom. And once he fertilizes the egg, he gives birth to who he already was in the beginning. But now he gets to witness the manifestation of who he already is and will be. But it's all these sciences about your fucking own creation. It's not about some guy, some white fucking guy who's, a British guy that was born in Arabia with a freaking Spanish, Mexican name named Jesus or Jesus. No, this story is all about you, but what they've done, this is what happened. A plus B, C. They remove the main thing, equals. And what they do is, since they don't have equal, they can make whatever they want. A plus B, pine tree. They can make whatever they want because you need to have that equal. The equal is this. If you can't equal yourself to that, the equal is this. If you can't reflect yourself on both sides, that's not going to equal to nothing. So they want to keep you from reflecting. But if you're God, if you're the first and the last, is it really them or is it really you? Well, that's the nature of God. Because in the beginning, it was nothing. So once God said, let there be light, or once God thought to himself, I'm nothing, boom, he becomes something, a representation of nothing, right? He says, oh my God, I am something. I'm the one. Boom. And what is that? It's the fucking on sign for one. On, one, neophyte, one. 101, room 101. So once God is nothing, he says, oh my God, I'm something. Boom, he becomes one. But the one, as soon as he says that, becomes a two. Before and after. Let's start this over. I'm going to do this one more time real quick. This is God. He's nothing. God said, oh my God. Nothing says, I'm nothing. He becomes God. Nothing becomes something. And nothing says, now I'm one nothing. Becomes that. From this. 1, 2, 3. But within that one nothing, there is two things, two halves, which makes this one nothing two things. It makes the sum of nothing. It makes something a sum, right? But when those two things are represented by that line, which is actually a one, there's more than just two things in there. In here, there's more than just one thing. Inside and outside. So how does inside and outside get represented? Boop. By the one. The all-seeing eye. All those things, it all falls into that same umbrella. Right? Outside is here, inside is here. Because outside and inside are both encapsulated or enclosed by the idea of the zero, of the one. So when you have this isn't just two now, it actually becomes three. Because you have three. Three levels of the process. But it's really four. What the fuck? How am I doing all this with just one numbers and shit, right? You really have nothing, something, one thing, but here you have inside, outside. But now you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have it all going on. Boom. It's all going on right inside here. Matter of fact, the fucked up thing is it's never changed from here. It's always here. But what it's doing is manifesting different ideas of itself from here, from the point of existence. And you, as the one who's looking outside your face, are at the point of existence. All this is just reflection of the inner point of existence. My boy Newt always talking about the first stage is mentalism and the Kabbalah, and everything is mental. Well, what does the mind look like? Nobody fucking knows. Boom. But once you say what the mind looks like, you're right here. Boom. And then once you say what the mind looks like, you're right here. Boom. Now you have all these different ideas of what the mind look like. And look, you got this, you got cigarettes, you got books, you got cell phones. All these things are coming out of what source? The mind, which has no shape. There is a stone that is not a stone that has a shape that is not a shape. That's the ancient alchemical secret, riddle. And what is that? It is the mind. Because the mind doesn't even exist. The only reason the mind exists is because things exist. And the only reason that things exist is because the mind exists. So the things that the mind sees is also the mind itself, which it is seeing. Remember, I'm nothing. I'm something that is nothing. I represented, I am one thing. And this one and this two halves is divine reflection. That's why it's the all-seeing eye. That is why it's the all-seeing eye, because it's seeing this way, it's seeing on both parts. It's seeing inside and it's seeing outside. There's a question: if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? If nothing there, if the tree falls in the forest, nothing to hear, does it make a sound? No, because there is no tree. There is no forest. There is no fall. Because sound needs to be heard by what? A fucking ear. And if nothing there to hear, that means there was no ears. That means none of it happened. But in your mind, it's happening. So if the tree falls in the forest and nothing's there to hear it, what does it make a sound? No. But yes, because you're hearing in your head, even though there's no fucking tree. You're hearing the sound of the words, right? Now check this out. The ear, I'm going to do a fuck up little ear, whatever. That's an ear. Let me write it down. Ear, right? The ear, and let's make the sound. I'm going to draw fucking, that's not it. I'm going to draw a note for sound. Sound. So what came first, the ear or the sound? Good question, right? When the ear and the sound, just the same fucking thing. Equals. The sound created the ear so it can be heard. At the same time, the ear created the sound so it can have something to listen to. And we're right back. Right here in the middle. Boom. This is the infinite complex, the infinite construct that makes all these things happen. Did the stomach create the food, or did the food to create the stomach? Because I was born with a stomach. I didn't even know how to eat. I didn't even know there's food. I didn't even know how to stomach. But it just so happens to be that I have a stomach. There's food to go in it. On the outside, there's a handshake going on here. The food and the stomach knew about each other before I was conscious of it. The sound and the ear knew about each other before I was conscious of it. The sight and the eye knew about each other before I was conscious of it. And that brings me right back. Remember, 1 is nothing, 2 is no thing, 3 is one thing, which makes, we can do like that, 4, something. So along this line, where I become knowledge of myself, right here, oh my God, I'm nothing. I'm not going to be shit. Well, I'm the one who's not going to be shit. And I'm going to tell you all the different things I'm not going to be. But before that happens, all the possibilities are all here. And this possibility is the infinite possibility. That's why it doesn't have a representation. That's why no matter what as soon as we try to make a representation of it, it becomes this. And as soon as we try to make as soon as that becomes a representation, it becomes an understanding that it is one representation, which becomes that. And then that becomes all different representations it couldn't have been, which still considerations of what it will be. And it's all being created because it's the mind that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like when motherfuckers telling you that, oh, it's Jesus, oh, it's this person, and you fail to realize the divinity of yourself based on these are simple ass fucking concepts. Like this is real simple. This is like a child can get this. And that's why indoctrination is so heavy, so many school years. It has to be kept and bombed onto the mind that is going backwards. It's bombed onto the mind that's going backwards, but this is the fucked up part about it. The mind is the one who plays this game. It is the mind, when the mind is nothing, and as soon as it makes itself something, it is in rebellion to its true nature of nothing. So he's like, oh my God, now I'm something. Boom, I'm circle. What I've done is I've imprisoned my infinitude. Even though I can't imprison infinity, I can't imprison it. What I've done is I've defined it. Now I'm trying to limit it by definition. And when I limit the definition, now I find myself the one limit. Infinity, do this fucking, I don't even like doing this, it's a blasphemous to something that's ineffable. Infinity, once it's ironed out, becomes the singularity. And the singularity realizes it is a singularity. And they want us to go back. And then they want us to go back right here, and they put this big ass wall up. So we can't get back to the source. But the fucked up thing is you don't have to get back to the source because you are the source. And once you realize that all the problems of the world, all these things that are going on are your own fucking creations because it gives you something to do. Simple as that. It's not a fucking big fucking spell cast against you by some fucking crazy ass white men or some dark magicians or some fucking Illuminati or reptilians or insectoids or fucking He-Man, Castle Grayskull, and all kind of Transformers. None of that shit. It's really you playing out your own divine comedy. Any problems you're going to go into, you have the ability to create and solve them because you are the one that's going through it. You are the one that's swimming all up against all these forces against you. All these forces against you. All these forces against you. That gives you your trajectory to get to here. And when you get there, you do it all over again. That's why when you're awake, you have the wind's blowing, the sun's shining in your eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Traffic's going the other way, motherfucker, all kind of you're walking up a hill, the hill's walking back down on you, right? Then the next day you'll go home, you go to sleep, and you get up and the whole thing happens all over again. All over again. It's because the same the divine comedy being played out always. It never stops, bro. It never ever stops. And until you, when an individual, the dopest part is when a single human being, an individual, gets from I am nothing, I have no shape or no form. It can realize that by saying I have no shape and no form, it gives itself form. The formula, or the formula, formula, right? Once you're here, your divine vehicle that you made, your avatar to create and do things, you'll be able to accomplish so much more and shit won't bother you. That's what niggas be like, damn, this nigga mental ninja, bro. This nigga don't nothing bother because that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm right here. And every time I make a decision, I step forward, I step back, I just do this. I'm just putting myself into vision of which way I can go. I go forward, I can go back. Right? But I got to remember that I am always, if I'm here, I'm always here. I'm always in that possible realm where I can create anything I fucking really want to. So if I want to get mad, I'm going to create a reason to get mad. If I want to be happy, I'm going to create a reason to be happy. I found $15. I'm happy. Yesterday I lost $15. I'm mad. Well, I just found my own fucking $15, nigga, because it was in my fucking other pocket, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If I had all these different things, you know what I'm saying, these different ideas and dramas and stuff to make it interesting. I'm happy I found $15. I was mad I lost it. That's, everybody's scared to die. Ain't nobody scared to go to sleep, though. And they say sleep is because of death because death is just the same thing as sleep. You got your day cycle, you got your month cycle, you got your week cycle, you got your day cycle, your week cycle, you got your year cycle, your 4-year cycle, and you have the great Kali Yuga cycle, and you're all part of that. It's all you playing different parts of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I had a little bit of fun. I'm about to end this shit because, me, I got shit I got to do. But I know I went kind of all over the place, but I kind of try to keep it in line with what I was trying to do. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's the Mental Ninja. Peace out.